Hi, I'm Gwen Griffin, the Executive Director of Old World Foundation, and I'm here today with Dan Hess, the Historic Trades and Agriculture Coordinator at Old World, Wisconsin. And today we're going to talk about the animal program. This program is one of the areas that Old World Foundation supports through gifts from our donors, and we're extremely grateful for this support. So welcome, Dan, and as you can see, he's got a friend with him today.
Mm-hmm. So this is one of our bottle lambs this year. So he is a merino sheep, and his mom had him in a sibling, but was only taking care of his sibling, and so he was getting kind of pretty cold, and we didn't want to just leave him out there, so we brought him in. So him and another one have both been bottle fed for the last about 40 days or so. So they're getting ready to go back out and join the flock here in a little bit.
He's adorable. He's obviously very friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So guests will be able to see him this year, right?
Yes. Yep. So we'll be reintroducing him here in a little bit to his flock, and guests will be able to see him out there, as well as all of our other animals.
Wonderful. So how many animals are currently at Old World, Wisconsin?
So we have horses, cattle, sheep, pigs, and chickens. So including all of those, as well as the chickens, we've got about 120 animals on site right now.
Nice. So, and that's typical, right? You normally have about that many every year.
Yeah, especially in springtime when we've got lots of baby animals running around. So with all the babies, it's about 120 right now.
Okay. And a large portion of those animals are heritage breed animals, correct?
Yeah. So we've, I'd say pretty near all of them are heritage breed. So let's see if I can go through all the different heritage breeds that we have, but we've got our Belgian horses are our heritage breed. And then we have milking shorthorn cattle. And then our Cotswold and Cheviot sheep. And we've got about 5 or 6 different breeds of chickens that are all heritage breeds, as well as our Mulefoot pigs and our Gloucestershire Old Spot pigs.
So how do heritage breed animals differ from, regular farm animals?
So these are animals that are that have not been improved is one of the words that we would use. So they're animals that are about as close as they can be to what they were, about 100, 200 years ago. So they are the same breeds that have not been. So like our Mulefoot and Old Spot pigs, they are, we can follow their lines back to the early 1900s. And they grow differently. They look differently than a lot of our modern animals today. So
interesting. So obviously, like you had said, this is spring, so all the babies are being born. Can you give us an idea of how many babies and what type of animals have been born?
So right now we've got 17 lambs spread across our 3 different breeds of sheep. So we have our Cotswold, Cheviot, and Merino sheep. So there's 17 lambs. Right now we've got 6 Mulefoot piglets, and we're expecting to have some more piglets later on in June once we're open to the public. And then we have a milking shorthorn calf right now. So she's a few months old, and we're expecting another one in about a month. So then I suppose we've also got our chickens. We've got about 20 chickens that are about 6 or 7 weeks old. So they weren't born here, but they were born about 7 weeks ago. So we've got Dominique, Barred Rock, Golden Laced Wyandotte, and some Brahma chicks right now.
Fun. So typically in a typical season, guests are able to see, all the animals on site. But I know that in the off season, the animals go to the modern animal barn. Can you tell us a little bit about what the animals do and where they go in the winter?
Yeah, so we have our modern animal barn in the back of the site, and we bring them there because they're able to get a little bit better shelter there in the winter time. So animals that need to be inside the barn, we can do that. But it also helps us when the roads are icy and we get 2 feet of snow. That makes it difficult to drive around on the site to make sure that they have the food and the water that they need. So it allows us to make sure that they're cared for in those cold winter months.
Yeah, it's a, as anyone who farms knows, it's a 24-hour day kind of on call all the time, 365 day a year job.
Yep. We've got there's someone here feeding the animals 365 days a year. Yep, absolutely.
And obviously, speaking about feeding, they consume a lot of hay and grain. Can you give us an idea of what Old World goes through in a year with the animals?
It's we end up having to purchase about 50 tons of hay every year, and about 12 tons of corn and about 6 tons of oats over the course of a year. So it's a lot of food, but we're
Yeah, and it's obviously not just food. They have the best veterinary care.
Yeah.
And
so on top of the feeding, so we've, between having the veterinarian come out to make sure that everybody's healthy, they get their vaccinations every year. We have the farrier is out here regularly to work on our horses. And then there's also, vaccines and different medications that we give the animals throughout the year as we need to as well. So whether that's as well as worming and things of that nature. So all kinds of different things to make sure that they're as healthy as we can keep them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's wonderful. The animals are a big attraction. I think everybody looks forward to seeing them out in the pastures or the paddocks or the farmsteads. They really add, obviously, to the experience at Old World. Is there anything else that you'd like to add about the animal program or the animals you have or your plans for this year?
I would just say, they are farm animals, so, and we use them as such. So, they've all got a job here, and sometimes that job is to, be picturesque and be able to be photogenic and things like that. But they also work. So we use the oxen and the horses out in the fields, and they're doing real farm work. Not as much as we don't have 100 acres that we're planting or things like that, but they're working animals for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and people should know, obviously, that Old World is going to open this year. And so for information on the programming, I would encourage everyone to visit the Old World Wisconsin website at oldworldwisconsin.org for hours and information. And we look forward to that. Spring is always an exciting time, but I think this year it's a little more exciting knowing that you'll be able to welcome guests this year. So
absolutely.
Well, wonderful. I thanks so much for joining me today to give us a little insight into the animals and the animal program. It's always fun to talk about them and a little show and tell with the lambs, or it's fun too. Obviously, the animals cost a lot of money and they get the best care. And we want to thank the donors for the donor support that we receive and then pass along to Old World Wisconsin. So if anyone is interested in financially supporting the animal program, please contact me. You can go to our website, which is oldworldfoundation.org, and we have a tab for an Adopt an Animal program, or you can call me at 262-594-2922, or send an email to ggriffin@friendsow.org. So all that information is on our website. But like I said, we're looking forward to spring. So,
Absolutely.
so until next time, we'll wish everybody the best. And thanks again, Dan. Have a great day.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.